Well, about 30 years ago, my family and I moved here from Florida. My parents had lived here previously for about a year, and this is an area where we had come to vacation. They lived in New York, we lived in Florida, so we would meet in the summers for several years and camp at the Tow River Campground and have a good time, and we enjoyed the mountain scenery and camping and hiking. And we had recently moved here, and so I was looking for a job, and so I saw the job opening and I applied. I had a background in the arts. I had started out in college majoring in art education, and when we moved to Florida, I started working in as a in-house graphic design artist, and did all their catalogs and publications. And I also played the flute and grew up as a preacher's kid and had a lot of music, and my parents encouraged me to paint and do all sorts of things. So when we moved here, the Arts Council seemed like a very, very interesting organization. You know, why did I accept? It was the job I wanted, and it seemed like it would provide a lot of stimulation, interesting experiences for me. My daughters were also involved with theater. They were in middle and high school at the time, and they were into band, into art, and so it just seemed like our family was engaged with all the arts, and it seemed like a nice fit and a way to be a part of a community through the arts. We've had this group from the Andes Monte, and they played these wonderful instruments that, you know, kind of brought the world closer to us. And a group from Mexico, Los Folkloristas, and brought all sorts of instruments and dance and sounds that we had not heard before. And seeing the community, you know, and we were planning ahead and just culminating into these points in time. Those were very, you know, special moments for me. I guess my personal experiences with the arts, that was very special, you know, having an opportunity to play with the Tow River Chamber Ensemble. I played flute for a number of years and helped to organize it, to get it rolling. I mean, that is pretty special, that you're an individual, you work hard, and you work with a group of people to make something really special happen. I took a class with Paulus Berenson on making books, and that was pretty fun. Billy Roos Suddeth did a workshop on making baskets with the Fibonacci technique, and I got to make a basket. I still have it at home up on the shelf. Other kinds of things. We had an encaustic class in the past. Kirsten Davis helped us make encaustic painting. And so it was my opportunity to play and enjoy the arts in a real personal way that had a real personal satisfaction. But I also feel satisfied working with people, and sometimes the palette is creating events with other people that we all enjoy. So it's working together to be creative that resonates for me. Wow, and it's so hard. There's so many events out there that have happened, and again, it's sort of a collective image in my mind too, but the studio tours, I mean, have reached such a popularity, and I feel like I'm really proud of it and feel like it's a wonderful moment in our life of the Tow River Arts Council, where these are some amazing people that we have an opportunity to visit their studio, purchase a piece of artwork, and get to know them in a bigger way, and it's become successful and mimicked even across into other regions of the United States and other places, just because of the way our tour was formed.
What about music in the mountains?
That's very important to me too. It's been going for a number of years. It's the soul of the kind of culture that exists here, and for me, I feel like it's very valuable and very important. It plays a role in our community to preserve. That's so important to see all these musicians get up on stage, and we've seen a lot of times the same musicians on the stage. We've had Bobby McMillan several times. He's a ballad singer, storyteller, or Bruce Green, and this coming up we're having Betty Smith. Just to, you know, remind us what this place is about and where the traditions and stories have begun is important to me. And so I love music in the mountains, and I'm proud of our TAPS program, Traditional Arts Program for students too. It's helping to preserve that part of our culture that, as a newcomer, and I'm still a newcomer I guess after 30 years, it's important that we recognize where we live and where the traditions have stemmed from. And so it's valuable.
If you could tell the incoming executive director one thing about being an executive director at Toa River Arts, what would it be?
I would say trust your instinct. A lot of times in the past, there's been, I think it's important to listen, and listen well, and then in your heart of hearts to know what is the right thing that should happen, and not to second guess your instinct. There's a book I read not too long ago, The Four Agreements. Have you read that book? Mm-mm. Anyway, it's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and he had the four agreements. I think that applies for leadership too, and I try to remember it too, but it's like, be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions that somebody knows something or something a certain way, don't take things personally, and always do your best. And the best could be something different on any day, or given your qualifications, or whatever, but always do your best. And I think that plus trust your instinct is probably important. And you're not in this alone. So it's not one piece of advice, but there you go, lots of advice, but you're not in this alone. It's not just up to you. You have the board, you have the staff, you have the community, and the community of membership, and the community at large, and you're not alone. What will I miss? I will miss the people. I mean, every day working with staff and board and the community in such a way that we have an opportunity to create things and make things happen in the community. I'm not going to be gone from Burnsville or from this region, but I think it's been a wonderful experience being a part of an organization that can have such amazing impact, and you can have such great friends and work together as a team and to get things done. I would like to pull out a lot of my art supplies, pull out my flute again. I haven't played it probably in the last year and a half, and see what I can do being a little more personally creative as well.